Hey everyone, and welcome to the Game Week 19 review video. The big blank game week is now behind us, where we had only 7 matches, 6 teams missing out due to the Supercopa. And theory was that maybe you could survive without that many players because it's probably going to be a low scoring game week. But I think as far as blank game weeks go, I hit 72 points. Pretty happy with that result. This was actually ranked 114th out of everyone this game week, so I'm pretty pleased about that. And we move up into the top 350 at 339 with a decent score. So we'll run through what happened. First of all, there were 3 out of the 7 matches ended 0-0, so it was a very defensive game week that if you invested in defense, it ended up well for you if it was the right teams, and not as many goals being scored. So we did end up having 11 scoring players, which is okay. Some of them not in the ways we necessarily would have liked, but we'll go and maybe on a game by game basis, we can kind of go through this. And we'll start with Parma and Torino. Player brought in this week was Coco from Torino, knowing they do well defensively, keep a lot of clean sheets. And the perfect scenario happened where it ended as a 0-0 draw. Coco and Suzuki get both of the clean sheets, both scoring 11 points. Happy I started him over De Gea as Fiorentina was playing Napoli. Mon did not feature in the game. Turns out he has an injury, so he dropped back onto the bench. VT was expected not to play, and he did start this match. Everything said he wasn't going to be playing this week, and all of a sudden into the lineup he went. But he did get a yellow card, and I don't didn't keep a clean sheet in the first half and got subbed out in the second half. So honestly, nothing really went well for him, but 2 points there on the bench. Gosens did not start the match either and came on later where it was way too late against Napoli. Only got the 1 point there. So those two were pretty disappointing. But the safe captaincy pick in Di Lorenzo did pay off for the most part. Got both clean sheets. I believe he got a yellow card though, which kind of hindered things a little bit. Yeah, yellow card there. And no attacking returns on the 3 Napoli goals, but we'll take that. 16 points, not too bad, coming from the captain. Also in that 3-0 game, we had Lukaku, who was trusted to take another penalty after missing last week and converted this time. I believe he also got an assist on one of those. Yeah, a goal from the PK and an assist. Um, and so that was good, well scored there. The two big Udinese assets, Toven and Luca, did not produce like people want. I know a lot of people that were actually captaining Toven for this week. Um, but he just gets the 6 points for the clean sheets and playing. I believe even Luca got like a yellow card on top of that, so kind of disappointing there. But if you've invested in the Udinese defense, then you're happy. The Roma attack was firing, but not in the way we would have hoped for this week. El Shaarawy started on the bench again. I feel like over this preparation in this game week, he's been my biggest mistake. One game week where he did well caught my eye too much, as he's come off the bench, not really got any attacking returns. I had a little bit more faith that Dobbvik would do something in the Roma derby, but he was not one of the goal scorers either. Salamaker's got a goal and an assist. Pellegrini got the other. And Lazio just looked terrible. Zaccagni only got the 2 points, and thankfully I didn't go in for a safer striker pick in Castellanos, as he got a red card towards the end, and that would have cost some points as well. My other brought-in player for the week, though, was Esposito, and he was the one that scored the goal for Empoli. I believe it's a 1-1 draw, yes, against Venezia. Colombo, if you picked him up, he got the assist, so not terrible there, but pretty happy with getting that pick correct in an Esposito goal. Didn't matter which of them I would have had captained. I would have got 16 points there. The only way I could have improved upon captaincy is Lukaku, Koko, or Suzuki. But that is how my game week went. All the rest of my three, Kirkopoulos did not play at all, so he went to the bench as well. So Gosens and no, it was sorry, El Shaarawy and VT were on my bench. They both ended up in the lineup, so at least I still got a point or some points from them, but it wasn't great. Um, but yes, now we know with this team we go towards a wild card, which I'm getting this video early because I have scheduled time where we are bringing uh, our friend Peter back, who finished first overall one of the weeks, who's been on for one of our shows. And we are both using our wild card this week, so we thought it would be fun to do both of them together and talk about some points for that could be considered for this game week. So we're excited about that. We're going to be doing that Wednesday night, so probably not coming to you till Thursday. Um, but looking forward to that. We will take a quick look at the league where I'm back on the first page, which is exciting. We have Snake number one. Now, interesting, looks like used the wild card for the blank game week and got 67 points, has Captain Dorgu, which was a good pickup for those that had him, and a good captaincy option, obviously, with Lukaku as well, and had Esposito. The rest not really coming through too much. Did have the one blank because Dennis Mon didn't play. But this is an interesting decision, wild carding to this week, because that means going into the big double game week next week. Let's see what he has so far. One, two, three, four. We would have just four double game week players, I guess, and then he might have some bank transfers saved up, and that would be okay. But interesting to see how that gets uh, moved along. And he is in first. Also, I want to take into account here, we actually have four people in the league that are leaders of their nations, which is kind of cool. We have Snake, leader in Israel. I think we have number one in France, number one in Brunei, and I forget what the last one was. Oh, and number one in Cyprus, I believe. So just kind of cool. We have four different people in our league leading their nations. Um, we have Give United. So it did have a full 11 players that played. Dodo gets zero after they got beat 3-0. Had Coco, Captain Toven, which I know a lot of people did do, didn't really pay off. Double Napoli defense was good, but again, Luca didn't really perform. And some of these other players that people were taking flyers on didn't really get the job done. Keane looked like he had scored at one point. The goal got called back. And lastly, we have a new person in third as Labedia is now out of the top three by 1 point. Go touch some grassi. And oh, number one in Australia too. That's cool. And so here we played a back five, which really would have looked good for this week. It was a 77-point score with Suzuki in goal, Rahmani, Captain Coco, which worked out really well, Di Lorenzo and Indica, all getting the double clean sheets. Unfortunately, Dodo not doing anything. Where in the attack, it was a little bit weaker, some okay scores with the sixes there, but ended up with a blank. But definitely not a bad score at all. And that is our top three. We just searching around, there are definitely some people with scores where like they had just had tons of blanks all over the place. I don't know. I know I saw one near the top of the leaderboards yesterday in the overall season standings. Let me see if I can quickly pull it up. I'm not sure if I'm going to actually be able to find this quickly. But I thought it was one of the top players almost had no one play this past week. 1 second. Da-da. No, I don't think I'm going to be able to find this in the amount of time that I would want to. Um, but yeah, that's gonna kind of be how this ends here. I'm looking really forward to the double game week. I kind of got my team set. The Super Copa just finished. Congratulations to Milan and their fans for winning the Super Copa. It actually is kind of making me make some decisions myself, seeing Pulisic and Theo Hernandez play really well. Marcus Thuram not starting is interesting and actually I think good for Marcus Thuram owners. So we'll see what happens there. Anyway, best of luck. Have fun if you're wild carding. Enjoy it, and we'll talk to you again soon. Take care.